what's up? It's Kathy. I'm back with another process video. This one is for the working title challenge over on the Paper Issues blog. And the challenge this time was to use the word summer in your layout, in your title. And that is that's a pretty easy challenge, I gotta say. I mean, most of us are probably, I don't know about the rest of you, but I tend to scrap the season. That's a weird way to put it. But I tend to like to, you know, in the summertime, scrap summer photos. Now, whether or not it's current summer photos or photos from 3 or 4 summers ago, doesn't really matter. I just, you know, because the releases, like the new releases that come out, the summer stuff comes out in the summer. So then I want to scrap the summer stuff while I have all these bright colors. And then as it starts moving into September and stuff like that, I always want to start scrapping fall pictures and that type of thing. Anyway, so I have lots of pictures to scrap, I guess was the end goal of that sentence, that tangent that I went off on. So this is the Simple Stories, I think it's called Sunny Days collection. And it's very bright. I love one of my favorite color combos, and I don't use it nearly as often as I would like, just because I don't really have anything that matches well. So I love red with very soft, like mint and teals and pinks and everything, and light yellows. I just love that pop. I also love when it's got, when you got a bit of that kind of like grass green. This one doesn't have that, but it does have that combo with the red. So I originally hadn't bought any of this product line, and I don't know, I was looking at it later, and then I was thinking to myself, why did I not buy any of this? It's so freaking cute. I'm totally one of those people that like cannot help it and always wants to buy like everything. I need to be more picky, I guess. So my original thought was that I was going to do all these vertical, long, thick, like wider strips of pattern paper. And then I kind of changed my idea and went with smaller strips going horizontally instead. So then I ended up using, I think, at least 2 of every pattern and 3 of the blue floral pattern. And I'm going to just put in some washi tape from Elle Studio. And this doesn't end up really being necessary because I swear almost all of this gets covered up with embellishments because that's how I roll. Heaven forbid. I think some of it too was probably, I think this was the first layout I made with this line. And I tend to go a little crazy on the first layout that I make with a line because I love, you know, all the pieces and want to use all the pieces, and I find so many that work with what I'm doing. I also kind of made it's not a mistake, but in the end, I should have maybe layered my photos on top of each other a little more, and that would have left a little bit more room. But I didn't. I did separate them all, but I didn't really back them with a whole lot of stuff. So as you can see, I'm backing them with a vellum that was just in my stash. I don't know what it's from. I've had it for a while. But it's just a pink vellum with darker, like almost red polka dots. And they are kind of like it has a texture because I'm pretty certain those polka dots have like a tiny bit of like a ridge to them, almost like they're a plastic. And it's really cute, and I've never used it, obviously, since I still have a full sheet of it, but I have wanted to use it. And I thought this would be a great opportunity because it's bringing in that pink, it's bringing in the red, it's kind of looking a bit like a watermelon in a way, just with that pink and the red kind of looking like seeds. So I decided I'm going to use that. I'm tearing some of the corners, like some of the edges, just to have a really rough kind of fun look, which is kind of a thing I've been doing lately, where I just really like to tear my edges and like really tear my edges, as opposed to putting a ruler down and tearing along that, which is what I should be doing. But no, heaven forbid I go find my ruler or anything like that. So I end up using both pieces of vellum, and this is kind of just to give more dimension, but also mute some of the colors of the pink vellum. just to add a bit more dimension, a bit more separation between the layers, between the background papers and the strips and everything like that. So I'm just going to staple them together to keep them together so that I don't end up messing up how I had them all laid out. And of course, since the picture is going to be covering up most of it, I don't really have to worry about you seeing adhesive through the vellum. And I am going to pop my photos up with fun foam just to give a little bit of dimension, and I'm going to cut it in 2 strips so that it's not over top of the staple, just because the staple has some dimension on its own. I just didn't want to have like a weird bump in the middle of my photos, if that makes sense. So yeah, I just use white fun foam because I find, like, I do have like foam dots and stuff like that too, but for that really small amount of dimension, I find this white fun foam works the best. And I've mentioned before, I don't think it's archival in any way, shape, or form. But the reason I picked the white is just because I would assume the stuff that's colored is going to have some sort of dye on it. And I don't know if the white does, or if that's kind of just, I don't know. I guess maybe I'm just thinking if it bleeds through, it really wouldn't be so bad if it was white as opposed to like neon green, but I don't really know. I don't necessarily make my scrapbooks to last for like 150 years. If they last, you know, if they last for a bit, I'll be happy. So, as you can see, yeah, I did separate my photos. I kind of wish in the end, this is one of those things where I kind of wish I hadn't, you know, hindsight is 20/20, but whatever. It's done. I like it either way, so I'm not too worried about it. So I have, as you can see, I've grabbed a few other things besides the Simple Stories collection. What's it say on there? Sunny days? Summer days. There we go. I'll get it right eventually. But for the most part, I am going to stick with this collection, which is a little unusual for me to just go with one collection. But there was enough in it that I really didn't need to venture off. Of course, I'm grabbing anything that's a watermelon. It had those 2 pieces in the ephemera pack. I'm just grabbing a few other pieces. And so, but yeah, like pretty much anything that reminded me of a watermelon, I grabbed. And then a few other things too. Now, I don't end up using every single watermelon in this collection. I think I left like the sticker or something. And that's about it. I took the brad that was in it. I took the little pinwheels, and I am going to use them, and I'm going to use them with, I'm going to pop them up a little. I'm using a bit of the Chamel collection, and it was just kind of a way to bring in I don't know, a little layering piece there. So, you know, I want to use some of the little strips of stickers and stuff like that, just because why not? I don't really want to hoard it or anything like that. Might as well use it up. And I think those are so cute, those little pinwheels. I mean, they have nothing to do with what's going on in the picture, but I'm not that kind of scrapper. It doesn't all have to be part of a theme. So, yeah, there we go. I'm going to have it kind of popped up. Of course, once it goes into the album, it won't stay like that, but whatever. Not worried about it. I'm just deciding, I want to have some sort of watermelon item beside all 3 photos, so I'm just trying to figure out what items and where and that type of thing. So I'm going to get a bit picky about that, which is silly, of course, but that's just kind of the way I am when it comes to this stuff. I loved that chipboard summer banner, and it kind of fit perfectly. So I do like how it really helped me bring a title over to the left-hand side, because that's the thing when you do a layout like this is, or at least for me, is I don't really think through where I'm going to put the title at the time. And so then I have to go back and figure that kind of thing out. So since I put a pinwheel up at the top, I feel like I need to put one at the bottom, but I need to put it in the opposite side and that type of stuff. And these are just some Pinkfresh Studio stickers that I bought from the Pinkfresh Studio, or not Pinkfresh Studio, the paper issue store recently, and they weren't anything new, they just were in stock, and I didn't have them, and I thought I could actually use them well. There might be something I was interested in, and turns out, yes, it was something I was interested in. Works out quite well. The colors match perfectly with half the stuff I have already, so not really a big need to worry about that. Now, here's where I'm probably going to get picky about certain colors being in certain spots and things like that, and how silly it is. And of course, you know, there was a flower up at the top, so there needed to be a flower at the bottom. So this is all me kind of just nitpicking stuff around and making sure that there's a bit of a balance there with everything. I liked that little picnic basket too. I thought it was really cute. And I mean, when else am I going to use it? I have not gone on a picnic in a very long... I don't think I've ever gone on a picnic, to tell you the truth. Not like a real picnic where you just go somewhere with a blanket and bring a basket. So anyway, yeah. So those wooden dipped thickers are new are a new product. I don't know what collection they are from though, but you can probably find them under the thickers selection at the store if they're still in stock. I don't know. The stuff tends to sell out very quickly because everyone wants it. But the great thing is that, you know, Cassie will always get more in as long as there's more available to send in. So just because it's sold out doesn't mean it'll be sold out forever. Though that suite is old. That's just old. I think it's old October Afternoon or Cosmo Cricket. I think it might actually be Cosmo Cricket. But it was yellow and I liked it. I thought it went well. I might as well use it. But I loved the wooden treats because it just kind of reminded me of like ice cream or something. And I love that little brad. It's so cute. I just thought, why not stick it there? Just something to do. So I'm going to pretty much finish off the layout with some hearts. And I don't think I bring in enamel dots, but I think I bring in a few more brads. And when it came to putting the brads on, I did cut the little pieces off because of where I was sticking them on the layout. It just was not going to be conducive to actually poking holes in my layout. So the little metal parts, the little metal prongs came off very easily with some scissors. So I was really happy about that because I love brads, but I hate sticking them through paper, especially when it's an afterthought after I put everything down and it would be a huge layer or something like that. So that's a strawberry, but I loved that it was the pink and the red, and since that's kind of been this ongoing theme in this layout, I thought, why not? Now I'm just being picky about about how far over my title goes in certain places. But yeah, as you can see, you can kind of barely see these strips of paper in the end. And, you know, I do stuff like that all the time. I'll do mixed media and then I'll almost completely cover it up and not realize that I had accidentally covered up all the mixed media. But it's kind of like a live and learn situation. Okay, like I've seen that, I've seen what happens. So next time, maybe I'll print smaller photos or put them closer together. But either way, I really like how it turned out. I think it's cute and very summery, and it was a chance to get a layout with all three kids on one layout, which is nice. Doesn't happen all that often. But yeah, that's about it for the layout. I don't know what I was going to say. Oh, I'm going to use Heidi Swap Color Shine in, I believe it's cherry, so the red one. And I do have to be very careful with that because I want it to be cute, but I don't want it to look like blood splatters either. So that's kind of the thin line that I walk with the Heidi Swap Color Shine in the red. But no, I really like how this layout turned out. It's busy. It's exactly the kind of layout I tend to make. So thank you guys so much for watching. I really appreciate it. I will see you all in the next video. And yeah, have an awesome day. So bye. Bye!